Hey, gem hunter, would you ever trust a little bird to lead you straight to a diamond buried in the ground? Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you there's a bird that actually does that, without even knowing the value of what it's carrying? Very few people know about this, but there's a species out there that gathers shiny objects, some as rare as gold, to decorate its nest and attract a mate. And here's the wild part. Among those shiny bits, geologists have found everything, from quartz crystals to raw diamonds. Nature, in all its quiet brilliance, hides this incredible show right in front of our eyes. And the most mind-blowing part? While mining companies spend millions on high-tech gear, this bird drops clues, completely free of charge. It's not doing it for money. It's driven by instinct. And that instinct might just be your next big clue to finding treasure. In this video, you'll find out which bird this is, how it behaves, where it lives, and why understanding what it does could totally change the way you see the natural world. And maybe even the value of the little things around you, because in the end, maybe the real secret isn't in the tools, but in learning how to really observe. While human eyes are fixed on drills, maps, and soil sensors, nature quietly whispers ancient answers through subtle, delicate gestures. Some birds don't just sing for beauty, they build with purpose, they choose with intention, they decorate with instinct. It's no exaggeration to say that the earth speaks through them. Ancient peoples knew this. They watched the flight, the landing, the songs, and from those clues, they drew invisible maps. Where to dig, where to plant, where to flee. Today, we've forgotten how to listen. But the truth still dances in the way animals move. What seems random often hides a pattern. While machines dig, winged creatures follow routes guided by a kind of wisdom you won't find in any textbook. A wisdom born from connection. And once we tap into that connection, everything changes. It makes you stop in the middle of a trail, look at a rock and ask yourself, is this just a rock? Or could it be the earth whispering something to me? Take West African explorers, for example. Some stopped using maps and started following the flight of bowerbirds instead. And they never regretted it. These birds, almost mystical in how they behave, led them to entire deposits of precious stones. It's as if their instinct was a geological compass. And the craziest part? They have no idea what those stones are worth. They just go after whatever sparkles, whatever catches the eye, whatever looks good, like they're building a secret altar. It sounds poetic, but it's also brutally real. The elders used to say, where there is beauty, there is a clue, and where there's a clue, there might be treasure. The ground reveals its riches to those who know how to look, and maybe that vision doesn't come from logic, but from sensitivity. So if you're starting to see things differently, take a moment right now, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the next signs from nature will surprise you even more. Deep in the lush green of tropical forests and the clearings of Australia lives an artist of nature that few recognize for what he truly is. The bowerbird. He doesn't sing loudly or soar high like an eagle, but he does something no other bird does. He builds actual art galleries on the forest floor. Using carefully placed twigs, he creates a tunnel-like structure, arranged with perfect symmetry. Around it, he decorates the space with colorful and shiny objects, bits of glass, vibrant leaves, tiny stones. But here's the real gem. In diamond-rich regions, researchers have discovered that these nests often include small fragments of quartz, hematite, and even raw diamonds used purely as decoration. Yes, Diamonds. Driven by an ancestral instinct to impress a female, this bird unknowingly collects underground clues with more precision than many high-tech instruments. The discovery even caught scientists off guard. What started as a simple behavioral study turned into a geological breakthrough. Universities and labs began examining these nests in specific areas, realizing that the concentration of certain minerals around them didn't just hint at underground wealth, it revealed repeating patterns. In other words, this wasn't some rare coincidence. It was a recurring, strategic, even if unconscious behavior. Attentive geologists realized that by mapping these nests and analyzing what they contained, they could predict areas with high mineral potential. What was once overlooked is now being studied with microscopes and GPS trackers. Just imagine turning a bird's behavior into a living radar for precious stones. That's not just science. That's practically magic woven into everyday life. And, like everything that comes from nature, this behavior carries a deeper symbolism. The bowerbird isn't chasing wealth, it's chasing beauty. And in doing so, it stumbles upon real value. That says a lot about what we tend to ignore or fail to see, simply because we've lost touch with sensitivity. While humans spend millions trying to dig into the earth, this bird reveals what's hidden just by how it moves, how it chooses, how it decorates. Maybe that's why more and more experienced prospectors are turning their eyes to the sky, quite literally, looking for signs. It's as if the planet has its own messaging system, and this bird is one of its most loyal messengers. But of course, understanding the message takes more than just skill. It takes patience, practice, and a willingness to truly listen to what really matters. If you want to turn this knowledge into a real advantage, you've got to start by knowing what to look for. Bowerbird nests, especially common in Australia and Papua New Guinea, are like hidden art exhibits tucked away in the brush. They build tunnel-like corridors from carefully woven twigs and decorate the surroundings with anything that sparkles. Bottle caps, bits of glass, and rocks that, at first glance, might look ordinary, but in diamond-rich regions have turned out to be quartz, hematite, and even raw diamonds. And here's the good news. You don't need fancy equipment to get started. With just a basic pair of binoculars, a notebook, and your phone in your pocket, you're ready to get in the game. What matters is paying close attention to the details, symmetry, color, the pattern of objects placed around the nest. And if you ever come across something like this, don't let it go unnoticed. Take notes, snap a photo, and drop a comment below. Have you ever seen something like this? Or would you try this kind of observation? In places like Australia's Northern Territory, dozens of nests have been catalogued with stunning mineral compositions. But the bowerbird's behavior isn't limited to one spot. There are reports in Queensland, along the country's east coast, and even in New Zealand of birds making unusual selections of stones. In the United States, particularly in regions like Arkansas, home to public access diamond mines, researchers have observed similar behaviors in species that collect metallic or mineral objects to attract mates. What's amazing is, no one teaches these birds how to search. They just follow their instinct. And that in itself is a lesson for us. Those who pay attention to their surroundings learn more than any online course could teach. Let's be honest. How many times have we walked right past something rare, assuming it was just another pebble on the ground? So if this is sparking something inside you, maybe it's time to turn this into a habit. Start your field journal today. It could be a notebook, an app, or even a saved Instagram story. The point is to keep a record. Note locations, vegetation types, Behavior patterns, time of day. Use tools like Gaia GPS, Notion, or Google Maps to track your routes and pin coordinates. Over time, those entries become a natural map of the invisible world around you. And here's the secret. Once you start connecting the dots, you'll develop a kind of awareness few people have. You'll start to train your eye, and a trained eye doesn't just see rocks, it sees possibilities. So if this content is awakening something in you, drop a comment below. What place in nature made you feel like something was hidden there? Something bigger than it looked at first glance? The bowerbird isn't the only messenger of the earth. Nature as a whole works like a living organism, full of clues for those who know how to observe. In Western Australia, for example, gold particles have been found in ant mounds. Yes, ants. They dig deep, move the soil, and bring up tiny samples of what lies beneath, like miniature miners. Rodents, such as certain squirrels in the Rocky Mountains, also carry small stones to their nests. Stones that often contain valuable minerals. And bees? In some parts of the US, hives have been found built on silicon-rich soil, revealing patterns that left researchers stunned. The thing is, these behaviors go unnoticed by people who only see the obvious. But once you train your eye, you start to see poetry where you once saw only dirt. And all of this points to a deeper truth. Nature is always speaking, but it doesn't shout, it whispers. And it takes sensitivity to hear it. Every creature acts on instinct, yes. But that instinct is finely tuned to the environment. If there's something rare underground, sooner or later, an insect, a bird, or even a fungus will respond to it. It's like an invisible symphony where each living being dances to the vibration of the earth. Some fungi, for example, grow faster in areas rich in certain metals, like zinc and copper. Even the way certain types of moss grow can reveal what's hiding beneath the surface. That's why true observers don't dismiss anything. A stone that looks out of place, an unusual movement, a natural repetition, all of it might be a message, a clue, a quiet invitation. And maybe the most beautiful part of it all is realizing that you don't need to be a scientist to join this game of signs. You just need a willingness to learn, curiosity to explore, presence to notice. It's as if the earth is constantly handing us coordinates, but in symbolic language. The shift of the wind, the way a tree leans, an insect obsessing over the same spot. These could all mean more than they seem. That's why anyone who wants to become a true seeker needs to sharpen more than just their tools. You need to sharpen your intuition. And to start, it's simple. On your next walk, try to observe the patterns in the plants around you. Listen to the sounds of the insects. See if anything keeps repeating along your path. And if you've ever had a moment where you felt like nature was trying to show you something, leave a comment below. Let's learn from each other. How many times have you walked past an ordinary place, moving too fast, only to realize later that something special was right there? Maybe it was a strange-looking stone, a shadow that seemed to dance, or even an odd sound breaking the silence. Most people move through life in such a rush that they forget to really look, and that's where the secret lies. Because the things that change our lives often don't show up with spotlights or standing ovations. They arrive subtly, almost shyly, like a tiny pebble in a nest. What seems small could be the beginning of a major turning point. The question is, are you training your eyes to notice it? It's easy to see what's obvious. What's hard is noticing what shimmers softly, what hides in simplicity. But that's exactly where the treasures are, in what's ignored, in what's considered ordinary. like a conversation that seemed trivial, but shifted your whole way of thinking, or a random detour that led you to an unforgettable place. When you start living with open eyes, you realize the signs are everywhere. And don't think that seeing the invisible is some gift reserved for a chosen few. It's not. It's practice, sensitivity, intention. The same eye that finds value in a sparkling stone also sees beauty in a small gesture, hope in a hard moment, and answers in a question that once felt endless. It's like adjusting the focus on a lens. Suddenly what was blurry becomes crystal clear, and the more you train that eye with nature, the more you start seeing meaning in the everyday moments of life. The people who turn the ordinary into something extraordinary aren't just lucky. They've learned how to observe. They don't wait for signs, and they decode the present. And maybe you're closer than you think. Maybe the difference between staying in the dark or discovering something precious lies in changing one simple habit: paying attention. So tell me, what if the next big discovery in your life is hidden in a detail you almost missed? If this content stirred something inside you, if you've been feeling like the natural world is speaking to you in a new way, drop a comment below and write, "I see the signs." Write it as a personal commitment to train your perception, to pay attention, and to no longer overlook the little things that might carry a hidden message. Because this isn't just about birds or stones. This is about developing an inner radar, a kind of awareness that separates those who merely walk through life from those who truly see. You're part of a rare group of people who are willing to look deeper, and that's powerful. That's valuable. So don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone as curious as you, someone who deserves to see the world with greater depth. And while you're here, hit the like button. It's a small action, but it tells the platform that content like this deserves to keep existing. And because promises matter, here's a special gift for those ready to go even further. I created an ebook just for you, designed to teach you everything about the world of gemstones. It's packed with practical knowledge grounded in real studies that can help you start building your own natural treasure map, guided by signs in nature. You'll find the link in the video description, and it might just be your next step on this journey of discovery. Because once you start learning to read these signs, nature reveals itself generously. More than that, you begin to see value where you once saw only dirt. Beauty where there was just overgrowth. Meaning where there used to be confusion. So if this channel brought you something valuable today, give back with a simple gesture. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us on this journey, where observing is just as powerful as exploring. And now, I invite you to keep going with me. Click the next video showing up on your screen and prepare to be amazed by the knowledge I've got waiting for you. See you soon, fellow gem hunter.